Hi, my name is Adam Aho. I'm the head wrestling coach at the University of Mary, Bismarck, North Dakota. We're starting Takedown Tuesdays. So this is our first episode, so bear with us a little bit here. But a little background on myself. I'm from Frazee, Minnesota. I wrestled at North Dakota State University, and after my college career, I coached at a couple of high schools in Minnesota, and then I went down and I was the assistant wrestling coach at Minnesota State University Mankato. And then I was there for 2 seasons, and then I got hired up here in the summer of 2013 at the University of Mary as the head wrestling coach. And this is my 3rd season here at the University of Mary, and this is where we're at right now. And we just wanted to bring to you the University of Mary Marauders wrestling updates, weekly recaps, and also some interviews with some of the guys in later episodes. But we're just starting out something new with Takedown Tuesdays. And we're going to do some questions and answers here for you.
All right, so last week you took on the number 2 ranked team in the nation according to D2Wrestle.com, St. Cloud State University. How do you as a coach prepare your team both mentally and physically for that level of competition?
Yeah, it's always tough when you see that on the schedule. St. Cloud's returning national champs from last year. They hardly lost anybody. But mentally preparing the guys, it's basically we're trying to make sure the guys are happy and hungry and healthy going into the match. But we're a very process-oriented program. We want to just make sure that we're following a process for the guys. We're not focused on results. As long as the guys are going out there and wrestling hard in every situation, hustling, they're excited to go out and compete, and then usually the results kind of take care of themselves. So that's kind of how we focus on when we try to, when we're taking on an opponent of St. Cloud's caliber. It's just basically going out there and leaving everything out on the mat with no regrets, and hopefully the results kind of take care of themselves.
According to my research, St. Cloud State has 5 wrestlers in the top 8, according to D2 Wrestle again. The only 3 that made the appearance, though, are Poster, number 1 ranked 65-pounder, Gergen, the number 1 ranked heavyweight, and Jennison, the number 1 ranked 74, I believe. How do you prepare each wrestler individually to face that caliber?
The same thing, kind of how we approach a team process. Paul has wrestled Poster. This is his 3rd time, I believe, wrestling him. So he's kind of knows what he's expecting going into that match. And this is also Travis's 3rd or 4th time wrestling Gergen. So again, he also knows what he's going up against. And Riley's wrestled some very good competition along the way as well, and some of those guys have been ranked. So it's nothing new for the guys, especially with our conference. They've wrestled extremely tough kids every single match. But again, it goes back to the process. We want to attack. Our style is going out there, and we're gonna bring the fight to those guys. We try not to change anything too much. We're gonna go out there, like I said, we're gonna attack and try to impose our will on those guys, and try to kind of take them out of their comfort zone, and and then hopefully we can surprise them. Obviously we know that we're the underdogs, and we just want those guys, our guys, when they walk off the mat, they're walking off the mat with no regrets as far as how they went out and performed.
Okay. You have a handful of freshmen this year. Top of mind, I believe you got 8 or 9 that are still with the team from last year's recruiting class. One in particular that stands out particularly, Tate Barnhart, freshman from Bismarck, local kid, 22-8 right now, I believe. Leads the team with 12 pins, 3 tech falls, and 2 major decisions, if memory serves correctly. Can you talk about what the level he was at when he first got here and how he's improved over the season?
Well, we knew he was good coming in. The challenge we have with true freshmen coming in and competing is how do they adjust to the strength a lot of times, the physicality of college wrestling, and Tate has adjusted extremely well. He doesn't try to wrestle above himself in any means. He goes out there and has a game plan, and he sticks to his game plan. And he's not trying to do anything that's super fancy. He's got his style, and he stays within that. And he just kind of imposes his will on guys as far as he's going to hit his best stuff, and make people try to stop him. And fortunate enough that he's been able to do that in a lot of his matches. And so it's just one of those things that we got to just keep on focusing on. Competing to win, fighting in every situation. And he does a phenomenal job of that.
Moving on to the senior class, there's three in particular. Riley Nagel, Tom DeVito, and Travis Smith. One I like talking about first. Travis Smith has had a very busy 2 weeks. Last week he took on Cole Wilson, who is now the number eight heavyweight in the nation, and then he took on Cole Wilson from Southwest Minnesota, and then Michael Lohman from Augustana, who at the time Travis wrestled him was the number 8 ranked wrestler in the nation, and both of those were 1-point decisions. And then follow that up with the number 1 ranked heavyweight Gergen, who 25-0 or 24-0, and all but one match had been a bonus point, and the match was Travis. So how has Travis improved over the season? Because I know he's a transfer.
Yep.
So
Travis is every time he goes out there and wrestles, we know exactly what we're getting. He's very consistent. He's kind of unorthodox as a heavyweight wrestler at times. He's long and he's lanky, and he just gives people fits as far as scoring on him. So we know matches for the most part are going to be close. It's just a matter of whether Travis can get his offense going to come ahead in some of those matches. And that's where the struggle is. We just need to get him over that little hump to beat one of these really high caliber guys. And but preparing him for those matches, he's wrestled every one of those guys in the past, and he's very good at kind of figuring out what those guys' strengths are and neutralizing that. So yeah, getting Travis to get over that hump, I guess you could say, as far as just like winning one of those key matches along the way. He's going to have to beat one of those guys to go to the national tournament probably, because our region tournament at heavyweight is very solid. It's very deep. So he's right there, and hopefully he can just put 1 or 2 good matches together to get it done.
And as far as Nagel and DeVito been struggling with injuries for the early part of the season. Has only recently made his return to the mat. And then Nagel has been here for 4 years, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
Can you just talk about how, I know they're not your recruits, but how you've come to know, or how you've known them both as a wrestler and as a person, your opinions on them?
Well, I'll start off with Tom. Like I said, we've been Tommy. He's dealt with some issues off the mat, getting back on the mat, competing for us this year. And we've had some heart-to-heart talks along the way. Now hopefully, and as of late, in the last 3 weeks, Tommy's really shown that he's committed and he's really wants to make a push here at the end of the year. It's just a little, hopefully it's not too late for him personally to make that really commitment to get it done here and win some big matches. But Tommy's he's one of those guys that he can beat anybody on any given day if he wrestles a great match. It's just we need a little more consistency out of him. And then Riley Nagel, he's a great guy. He's a captain for us this year. He's, like you mentioned, he's been here for 4 years. He hasn't redshirted, so this is his 4th year starting for the program. And he's just one of the guys that the team looks up to for some team leadership, because he's a veteran. He's one of the 4 guys that's been here the longest out of him and Tom DeVito. So yeah, we're looking for him to hopefully come away with some good victories here towards the end of the season. He's had a rough go of it as well. He's had some very tough guys in our conference, and just like Travis in the last 3 duels, he's wrestled some very extremely tough kids. So just try to keep those guys motivated, because this is their last year. This is their senior year. They don't want to leave their season, their wrestling career, with a sour taste in their mouth. They want to finish hopefully winning is always the goal. So we'll see if they can get it done.
Looking ahead to this Sunday, you're taking on Minnesota State Moorhead. They are currently receiving votes in the top 20.
Mm-hmm.
One of 4 teams in the NSIC to be ranked somewhere in the top 25, excuse me. Can you talk about how you match up against them and what your expectations for the duels are?
It's going to be an exciting duel, I think. I think we match up actually fairly decent with them. We're underdogs, obviously, I think. But, if we have some guys wrestle well, and like we have been wrestling in the last couple weeks here, like the guys have been wrestling really well in practice. Yesterday we had a great practice. If we can keep that momentum and keep that positivity going, and keep that focus, I don't want to say that we're going to be in the match to win it, but I think it's a definite possibility. We match up well at 25. 33 is going to be a really tough match with Barnhart, with a returning All-American Blake Bosch. 41, we're going to have Reed Cronin going in that spot. They got Christian Vasquez, who's very good, but I think that's a match that Reed can compete in and possibly pull out a W there. At 49, Weisbrod, I think, matches up well with Isaac Novacek. And, if that's who they have wrestling in that spot, they've kind of gone back and forth with another guy there. But then at 57, that's going to be a tough match for us. But I think Dane, if he puts together a good match, I mean, we could be in that match for sure. 65, same thing. I mean, Paul's going to have another tough match with Adam Blees. That's one of those things that if we wrestle well, we could beat anybody. But if we don't wrestle up to our ability, then we can lose. Then we can lose to anybody. So then also Nagel, I think that's a winnable match for him. 84, it's going to be a tough matchup for us. Jake Green, we need a little more production out of him. But I think we're favored at 97 in heavyweight. So those are matches that, it's all going to come down to bonus points. And if we can squeak out the matches that we're supposed to win on paper, it's going to be an exciting duel, I think.
Awesome. Well, that's all the questions that I have. Anything you would like to leave fans of the team with as a sort of final word?
No, the one thing that we want to get out there is if you have any questions for either myself or the other coaching staff or some of the wrestlers, you can put your questions in on Twitter at YouMaryWrestling, and we'd love to answer them in next week's Takedown Tuesdays. Also, you could tweet at me, or also we have a Facebook page, University of Mary Wrestling, that you can post questions there for us as well. So we just want to give you up-to-date information about the program and keep you involved. So thank you very much for tuning in, and go Marauders.